Good morning, beautiful people. It's Toxic Positivity, Brittany J. Man, I have been in such great energy the past few days. I don't know what it is. I just been just feeling good. But I've been getting some great downloads, um, very great downloads. And they're all different, but they all go together. And the one I was just driving to work right now, and Spirit just gave me a great example or whatever. Remember the movie, and it's one of my favorite movies, Wally. So, okay, so the downloads that I've been getting, like these downloads been coming since like last week, but you know how I do. Like, it take me a few days, and then Spirit would just keep giving me confirmations or add-ons. I call them add-ons, and they all basically go together. So anyway, and they come from everywhere. They come from like people talking, experiences at the stores, just driving. And the main ones was community or lack thereof, because we are so lacking community. Um, Reliance. The more technology we have, the stupider we become. And kind of it's even like that's why, oh man, I love Spirit so much. And as you notice, if you've been following my channel, like all my messages that I've been getting or all my videos basically flow into each other. So I know I've been talking about Black people in America being the original people of America, and so on and so forth. So that also goes into the whole community situation. And dang, I just lost my train of thought. There's too many thoughts in my head, and I didn't write any of this down. I just wanted to get on. I didn't do my notes, but um 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 oh, the new, okay, so how we talked about, or I think I touched on it, like even with Dan Calloway's videos and stuff like that, the evolution of slavery. So there's gonna be, there has been, but it's about to really roll out the new evolution of the new slavery. So we already got the whole slavery of how, they took us off the land, separated us from our spirituality, and gave us religion. Now the new evolution is they're taking us away from each other. On top of spirituality, they're taking us away from each other, and they're giving us technology. So I don't know where anybody lives. I live in North Carolina, and it's everywhere. It's not even just here, but it's ridiculous here. They're not building houses anymore. They're building apartments on top of apartments on top of apartments, townhouses, whatever. They don't want nobody to own shit. So the movie Wally came to me this morning. Is like, I feel like, or this is what I see. I've heard and heard and had other confirmations of this, but this was Spirit put in my head today. Is that they want us to be separated from each other, or together but separate. So I haven't seen Wally in a long time, but from what I remember, it was people was living together, but they were like obsessed with their technology. Like, they were on their TVs, they were sitting on the couch. Everybody was fat. Nobody walked. So I'm like, literally, they're trying to make us cattle. Like, literally cattle, consumers. Like, before they was having us work. Now they just want you to stay home. And like literally, the movie The Matrix is coming to life. Like, that movie, it was not a movie. It was a documentary. Like that. Like, people, yo, the people who need to see this is gonna see this. But anyway, and like, I have so many like thoughts going in my head. I'm trying to stay focused. But as far as like, those are the messages I've been getting. Lack of community, and technology is making us dumber. So like, I know I told you guys I homeschool my kids. So I always try to make, like, the world is our classroom. I know that sounds cliche, but that's what it is. So I always try to use examples of whatever's going on in the situation. Like, I always try to make everything a learning moment. So I went to the store the other day, and all this technology we have, I still couldn't get help in the store, which was ridiculous. So, I go to the store, and if I don't find what I'm looking for, like this, the person will be like, "Oh, did you find what you're looking for?" I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna get it on Amazon." They're like, "Oh my God, Amazon is killing us." And I'm like, if you guys cared about your job and you really cared about community and helping people, I wouldn't have to go on Amazon. I don't want to have to rely on technology, but sometimes y'all make it. It's like you got to be forced. It's like they forcing you to have to use technology. So anyway, that triggered a conversation with my kids, and I was saying, like, we are computers. Like, I'm an 80s baby. So I was telling my kids, I'm like, all those phone numbers you got in your phone? I used to know those phone numbers in my head. We didn't have no phones to call whoever. So if you had a best friend or your auntie or your uncle, your grandma, you memorized their phone, your house phone number. I still remember my first phone number from when I was a kid. And I'm like, we used to have to know those numbers. We didn't have no GPS. If I had to go to somebody's house, you had to remember how to get there. So it's like the more technology we're getting, the dumber we're getting. We're relying too much on technology. And that's what I said, it's the new slavery. Like, slavery is evolving once again. Because, like, that was kind of like piggybacking from my previous videos. Like, that's how slavery happened. Like, they took us off the land, so we wasn't producing anything anymore. We're not producing our own food. We're not getting our own water from the land. We're not getting our food from the land. We were self-sufficient. Now they're making us reliant on the government. Well, we've been relying on the government, but now they're gonna have us reliant on technology. So the new slavery is here. So we have to start waking up. Like, and okay, so back to Wally. So that's, I'm like, it's everything is all coming together. So, like, in Wally, if y'all remember, because I'm like, I still remember bits and pieces of the movie. Um, the humans destroyed the planet. Is that not how the Matrix was? Like, all they had was buildings. There was no more plants. There was no more water. So they all moved to outer space in a spaceship because they destroyed the planet. And I'm like, is that not what we're doing now? Building all these apartment complexes, tearing all the trees down. The animals don't have no place to live. Like, we're just destroying everything. And um and that's what was happening in the Matrix. Like, it was like a desert. Everywhere was a desert. And there was nothing, there was no life. And then that was what Wally was about. Like, they sent that little robot to Earth to see if he could find life, and he found the little plant or whatever, and showed that good morning, y'all. This is a part 2 to the last video. It's been like a week since I did that last video, so I'm gonna finish the message. So I'm not gonna do a whole intro because this is a continuation. So anyway, I know I was like downing technology in the first part, but my point was, um technology is not bad. um, the way we have been using technology has been slowing us down because we've already been slowed down. Like I said, uh, the powers that be is evolving slavery. So, like I said, from last time, slavery evolved, and turned into employment. Now it's turning us into cattle that stay in the house and just stay on our phones and computers and TVs. So, anyway, let me hurry up and get to the point. The rest of the download was technology is not bad. The fact that we have been so disconnected spiritually, that means we've been disconnected from the planet, from Gaia. We've been disconnected from the universe, from ourselves, and from each other. Once we get balance with those two things, then we will catch up with technology, and then technology will be used as a tool for us to enhance us, not to hold us back or to entertain us or to pacify us or to control us. It is supposed to be a tool for us. We are already technology. Technology is nothing but us outside of our body. We already have all the technology out of us, and they have us relying on something that we already have. So technology is supposed to actually enhance us and be a tool for us because we're already technology, but we don't remember, we don't know. So that is why we have to tap back into nature, and we have to tap back into ourselves and into each other because we're all connected. And then once we get balanced, that is when we come into our true power. And that's basically what the message was. I'm not gonna go into the whole download, but it basically was saying like that's what our ancestors, that's where we came from. Like our ancestors, ancient ancestors, used technology, but they were spiritual. They were spiritual and technologically advanced at the same time. We are not that anymore. We're unbalanced. We're imbalanced in so many ways. But that's basically what the download was. Like the new slavery is technology taking care of us and us relying on technology. And we basically have to get back to the basics, taking care of ourselves, getting back tapped into earth, getting tapped into ourselves, getting back tapped into each other, creating community, relying on ourselves and others who are reliable. So yeah, that was a download. I'm not gonna go into too much. That was basically the gist of it. It's good that I wrote it down, but I'm not gonna go into the whole word for word. But that is basically the summary. Um, New slavery is technology, and we need to catch up. We need to tap in and balance ourselves in more ways than one. So that's the message, guys. I'm glad I got this out. I'm gonna finally post it. I hope y'all stay blessed. I'll see y'all in the next one.